Good morning, everyone. I am in Kirkkonummi for the moment. So I'm relatively new in the job. I started in the beginning of September, learning fast, and we are, as the network, moving pretty fast forward also. Since I'm past my 50 years milestone, I'm allowed or almost obliged to start from the past. So just quickly, why mining in Finland is important is that we are a great mining country. We always score in the top 5 of location ratings globally, and there are very good reasons for that. For example, that our society works well, our infrastructure works extremely well, we have a very good road network, even in the most sparsely populated areas, etc. But of course, there is the flip side of all this, and there are serious concerns by the public and decision makers about some aspects of mining. Everything starts from the social license to operate. As we know, if you don't have that, then you will face trouble sooner or later. Also that we do not have that many domestic mines or actors in the field that creates bad blood, so to say. And from the perspective of operators, there's the permitting procedure that is long and cumbersome, where there might be some room for improvement. And all activities related to mining, there is always the long and dark shadow of Talvivaara, what happened there some 10 years ago, and everything is related to those things that happened there. In the beginning of the millennium, there was a mining boom in Finland, and it, in a way, ended in 2012 when Talvivaara happened, and government made a national action plan for sustainable mining a year after, and one of the proposals was to develop an improved or a forum for dialogue between the sector and the interest groups. Sitra, the Parliament-funded innovation fund, took then the lead and started working for this kind of platform. And a year after things started happening, and the network for sustainable mining in Finland started. From the very beginning, there was a vast focus group involvement in the process, and you can see the list there which are involved. And after Sitra financing, we went to the Finmin framework, so that Finmin has actually the budget for all our activities. Our products are CSR report, and then the most important tool, which I'm going to introduce to you in more detail later, is the Canadian TSM initiative. TSM stands for Towards Sustainable Mining. And then we are also introducing sustainability standard for exploration. The network is led by Hannele Pokka, who was the head of Ministry of Environment. Now she's retired. And as said, I am the Secretary General there. This is the statement of intent. I'm not going to go through it point by point, but you can see that there's a strong emphasis on community, on the community relationships, and all the good things that are connected to responsible business in general. An important thing is that our network works on the basis of consensus, so everybody needs to agree. And another essential point is that in the board, the organizations are represented. These are not just the individual people with a background to the organization, but there is actually a strong commitment by all of these organizations. So when Sitra, or under the leadership of Sitra, we started studying what kind of system would work best for Finland, the group pretty soon noticed that the Canadian system is the best one. And there you can see the definition of TSM. The name is not that great, in my opinion, towards sustainable mining, but it actually tells what this is all about. So the important thing is that this is a tool that is supposed to help mining companies to evaluate and manage and improve their environmental and social responsibilities. The results are rated similarly compared to credit ratings. So the lowest legal level where you follow the law is C, and then you have 4 steps above that. And if you aim for AAA, you really need to do some extraordinary stuff. And it's always the lowest mark what you get on these different criteria and protocols that defines the overall grade what you get. There's an annual reporting requirement, self-assessment, and every three years there's an external verifier who then make sure that the results are correct and mutually comparable between other mines. An important thing is also that this is flexible to local conditions. The TSM family covers nowadays about 5 countries, if I remember correctly, and it's growing fast. And it will most likely be the international standard. But this was not enough for the Finns, so we wanted to make some improvements to the system. So the network is, so to say, semi-independent from the mining industry. In Canada, they are pretty closely linked to their mining association, but the organization itself is independent, but we get most of the financing from Finmin. We have some additional protocols, and we have also the CSR reporting in place there. And next year we will start with the exploration protocols. And here's the whole set, the 8 protocols what we have. And let's see, I have here in the notes, if I can. I probably can't. But the water management and the closing operations are something that is not in the original TSM, but what we have created, and also the exploration part, which kicks off next year, is something that we have ourselves created. Although some years have passed from the beginning, we are now actually gearing up towards a real action, and the first self-assessment reports have been received. We haven't gone public with them because we haven't had the external verification yet, but that will happen next year. And we will also start the training for exploration protocols. We are starting to develop a digital reporting tool because we want to make this technically as easy as possible for the participating mines and exploration companies. And digitalization tends to help in that. We maybe need to review some protocols to keep them up to date to general developments, and we are also discussing if we should have a protocol on governance, good governance. But well, yeah, we'll take decisions on those next year. Organizationally important is that we get all companies on board. Finmin has an obligation that all of its members need to be on board, but then especially in exploration, there are some very small companies that are not members of Finmin, and we need to find ways how to get them on board, because if exploration doesn't go well in terms of social licensing, then the project as a whole will face serious difficulties along the years to come. We also need to create a wider community supporting sustainable mining in Finland, and we are creating a kind of outer circle of membership, support memberships, and defining what kind of benefits these companies or individuals would get once they enter this circle, and this will happen also in the beginning of next year. And we work internationally to support the TSN to become the acknowledged international standard. And surprisingly to myself, I was able to almost keep to the time I was given, or do I still have a couple of minutes?
3 minutes.
Okay, so this is the final slide, and after that I will close. So looking back to what the network has created, so we have created a platform for interaction and even debate and trust between the mining sector and key stakeholders. We have been able to keep everybody on board. The only one who has dropped out is the Sami parliament. They didn't see it useful to be members, but all the environmental and land use organizations have been actively contributing to the work of the network so far, and everybody has stayed on board. We have created new tools. You can have a look at them, the results, especially the CSR. They are public and available at our website, kaivosvastuu.fi. And for the mining sector, it is very important that they have this kind of tool for the self-improvement, for public relations, and also commercially, it is important that the industry that uses the raw materials has a standard to lean on. And we need to make sure that the TSM family is the one who actually creates this kind of international standard. And here's my contact info. Please don't hesitate to contact me, and there you can see our website, and you should also sign in for our LinkedIn account. And of course, I'm willing to answer to any questions or comments that you have. Thank you.